Hello, people. It's me, Ali Macofsky, your host, your friend, your enemy, your lover, your drug dealer, your substitute teacher. Hey, weird way to start the podcast, but it is me, Ali Macofsky, back with another episode of Resting Bitch. Why is it called that? Because listen to me. I have resting bitch voice. Look at me if you're on YouTube. I have resting bitch face. But deep down, I just love to rest, bitch. You know? Anyway. So, okay. This has been a crazy week. Basketball legend Kobe Bryant has died, along with his daughter and I think 7 other people in this helicopter accident. Super sad. So sad. It was like one of those things where just like I woke up and I was like on Twitter, as I do when I wake up. I'm on my phone like the first hour or two that I wake up. I need to cut that out. That's some 2019 shit. I cannot be bringing that into 2020. But that's what I've been doing. And I don't think it's a good way to start your day, because you're just like looking at the news and looking at everyone's lives. And then you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do today? Ugh, it's bad. Not a good way to start the day. And then I saw on Twitter, it said like Kobe Bryant, helicopter crash, or like dead or something. And I was just like, it did not seem, I don't know. I know that Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon talked about it last night on their late night shows, but it's what I was thinking. It's like, he's just like the type of person that you don't think will ever die. Like, they just seem like, oh, they're just gonna live forever. I don't know how, but we'll just all accept that. So I was like really sad, especially as a Southern California native watching Lakers games with my dad. Kobe's just like that dude, you know? Anyway, so that was really sad, and everyone felt it, and it's kind of nice to know that someone could make such an impact on so many people's lives. And that can be like a common thread for people's love. And then come with any sort of, beautiful, way to remember someone comes some negative talk, because it's such a hot thing. There's so much emotion involved in it, and then if someone says something that other people don't like, it can get very passionate very quickly. Ari Shaffir tweeted something like super negative about Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, and someone asked me on Instagram what my opinion on that is. I feel like everyone has the right to say whatever they want to say. I don't agree with what he said by any means, but I don't think that he shouldn't say that because it's wrong. I think people are allowed to say things that are wrong or not nice. People say a lot of not nice things all the time. And it's really interesting, because that's his opinion and he's like totally entitled to feeling that way. Like I said, I don't agree with it at all, and I think it's like, not the right time or place. And I don't know, it was just like it was just like crazy to see that. But I also it's just interesting because he said what he said, which I don't agree with at all. And I like Ari as a person. He's like so generous and kind, and obviously he feels very strongly about this situation. I don't know. He was very affected in a different way than most people. But at the same time, I was like looking at the comments because obviously I have nothing better to do. And then it's the comments below that are like even just as shocking, if not more, where it's people being like, all the Jews should have died in the Holocaust, you're disgusting, like, I hope you burn, you should be dead, I hope I can find you and kill you. And it's like, okay, you guys are both, like, do you see what you're also saying? It's like, you said something bad, so I'm gonna threaten you with more bad things. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I just don't feel like hate is ever the correct response. Like, I've been in a situation where people were, like, attacking me, and it's really scary, but it also, like, doesn't accomplish anything, and it kind of makes you... I read something online. I don't know if this is real. I feel like it seems like one of those like made up things that like old white moms in Carolina share on Facebook. They like repost. But it was saying like when someone does something, like there's some village or something in like Africa or somewhere, and when someone in like the tribe of their village does something bad, they all surround that person and like compliment them and like say really nice things about them, because positive reinforcement makes the person like, it makes the person want to be better rather than being like, you're wrong, why did you say that, you suck. It's like that person's gonna feel shut out from that community and then just lean into like that negative side in them that was just like, you know, no one's perfect. And I feel like this is such a weird time where because of Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, it's easy to pretend or appear to be close to perfection, but it's like, that's not the case. And we all know that. Like, that's always something that people say, like, oh, people are living these fake lives online and it's really bad for our mental health and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, as soon as someone reveals to you that they're a person with flaws and with, like, you know, character defects of some sort, you just shun them and are like, they're bad, we don't like them anymore. And it's like, they're multi-dimensional. How would you feel if you made a mistake and then weren't treated with like empathy and guidance and like an open mind? I don't know. It's just, I was watching, ooh, what a heavy, hard way to start the podcast. Damn, I feel like Oprah or Barbara Walters or something. But I was watching, so when I went to London, I met this dude, Jamali Maddox, and he's a comedian out in London. And, I found out he has a show on Vice called Hate Thy Neighbor, which is like a pretty popular Vice show. And I was babysitting yesterday, and I was going through the channels, and I got to see an episode of it, and it was kind of encompassing this conversation where he went to UC Berkeley when they were trying to get, there's like, you know, a conservative club at UC Berkeley, and obviously UC Berkeley is a very like liberal, super liberal school in the Bay Area near San Francisco. And there's this small conservative club on campus, and they were trying to do this free speech week, and a lot of people were like hesitant and reluctant because of all the things that happened in like Charlottesville and like, you know, other places where kind of like riots break out and people die. And they were like, it's just for free speech, it's just defending free speech, whatever. They got Milo Yiannopoulos to come there, and then they ended up canceling Milo from being able to speak on campus. He's a very controversial conservative figure. Anyway, so Jamali goes there and he's like interviewing people on both sides and like seeing what their deal is. But it's pretty much like these people are just like, we want free speech. But like, and then the other side's like, I don't know. Watch that episode, I guess. It's hard to describe. I don't know why I brought it up, but it's just interesting because you get to kind of see both sides and you get to decide for yourself like what the middle ground is, and like, and you just realize that like the violence and the like hate speech on either side is just like not productive or helpful to anyone. And it's just really interesting. Like, I feel like social media and technology has like really influenced our culture today in such a big way. Like, I even notice it at comedy shows now. And I've only been doing stand-up for 5 years, and I've noticed a change within the past 5 years from when I first started. Like, oh, my dad's trying to FaceTime me. Everyone loves my dad. Hold on, I'll answer it really quick. Hey, Dad.
Did you FaceTime me?
Yeah, I FaceTimed you earlier when I was driving.
I was at the gym.
Oh!
See my outfit?
Yeah, you got your gym gear. Wow, you're wearing man leggings?
That's it.
Oh my gosh, you look so cool, Dad.
Thank you.
How much weight have you lost?
Well, I'm at 259 from 287.
So you lost like 25 pounds-ish?
Yeah, 25, between 25 27. Yeah.
Damn, you look so good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm recording my podcast, so I have to go.
Okay.
But people are loving you.
Okay, well, we'll have to do it again.
Okay.
You let me know.
I need more people to be excited about it.
Okay.
Okay, I love you. Bye. Oh, he's so cute. He's so precious. He's like so thick, you know what I mean? Like in the pictures that we took for the episode, like when I look back at them, I'm like, holy shit, like he just looks like a big like slime ball. Like, and that sounds so mean, but it's true. Like he just looks like a big blob. Like he's just like a big extra skin on his face and neck dude, you know? He's just real beefy, but he looks so good. I want him to like lose all this weight. And then, well, this is what's cool about it, and I'm so proud of him because he used to do like Nutrisystem and like all of these like, you know, weight loss things where it was like they tell you what to eat or they already have the meals planned for you. And he's been a big boy for most of my life and just like has terrible eating, makes terrible eating choices, very impulsive. And it's scary because that's exactly how I am. And my dad was skinny for a long time. He was like in shape, like looking for a long time. So that's why I'm like anticipating getting real big at some point where it's just going to all, you know, break free. But my dad always just like, if he tries to lose weight, it's always like planned out for him. And this is why I'm so proud of him is because he's making his own meals and he's going to the gym. He like never, ever has gone to the gym or been like a gym dude. And now he's going to the gym. He's walking for 30 minutes a day. And he still has a little ways to go, but I'm just proud that he's like taking that action because especially in my family, like me and my mom and my dad, my sisters are like, they're weird. They're like very fit and skinny and like they wake up early and they like for the most part make some mostly good choices. And then me and my mom and my dad are all just like more butter on the bread. And we go hard with our food and with our impulsive choices. So anyway, it's really sweet to see my dad lose weight and it gives me hope. Before my dad so rudely FaceTimed me, what was I talking about? I was talking about Hate Thy Neighbor, the Vice show with, but anyway. I don't know. It's just really, in the past 5 years, I've noticed this change in comedy audiences where, it's so annoying. It's not, everyone thinks that people heckle all the time. Most of the time, people don't heckle unless it's like a late show and people are just like a little bit too drunk and rowdy and like heckling because they're just like, they think it's like a conversation or something. Rarely, I mean, not rarely, but it doesn't happen as often as people think it does. But only a few times is it someone who's like, dude, say something else, bro. Like just a confrontational bro. But a lot of times now, because I think we're able to react on everything on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, we have multiple reactions we can use. Love, wow, angry, sad. You know, we have all of these different reactions that I think people feel like when they're at comedy shows, they can just make those little subtle reactions, but it's so distracting and annoying. Like I'll be doing jokes and people will be like, whoa, or like, aw, wow, ha ha ha, okay, girl. Like, it's just so weird. Like it's just like these little comments, like they're reacting to my joke rather than just like, I don't know. People feel like they have to like say something when before I felt like it was just laughter or like listening and then laughter and then listening. Now it's like laughter, reaction, listen, reaction, laughter. It's so distracting and it ruins the timing so much and feels unnecessary. It feels like patronizing in a way when people are like reacting rather than, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I was doing this show. I didn't even know it was a corporate gig. It was for some bike company. And normally corporate gigs pay well. This one didn't. I was like, is the corporation like friends with someone who works at this comedy club? Because like, I got $40 for it, which I'm not complaining. $40 is great. But normally corporate gigs, especially for like a holiday corporate company event, it's like it pays more because they're renting out the club just for themselves. Anyway, it was this company, some bike company, and they had gotten there like an hour or two before the show started. And I didn't know that it was a corporate gig. I'm expecting just a regular ass comedy show. They were blacked out by the time the comedy show started. So everyone's like hooping and hollering, chitting and chatting, being so annoying. And this one girl in the very front, she was a woo girl. One of these girls who at a comedy show, after everything, she goes, woo, woo, woo. That's like single mom energy, like alcoholic single mom energy, like the girl who goes to like Havasu and has her like nipple pasties on and is like dancing to a Sublime song. That kind of energy. That's woo girl energy, like the blonde highlights. And I love that person, but not during my set. Like, I want that person to be my friend. I want to go to like Arizona or some dry ass city with a lake. Because you're a fun person to be with there. Drinking like Captain Morgan, Seagrams with like, Mountain Dew. That's my type of girl. I connect to that girl. But at a comedy show, too much. Too much. I literally was saying, I have this joke about my uncle like killing himself, which is purely a joke, but it's set up so that it kind of seems like anyway, I do this joke and she's like, woo! And I was like, did you just woo for my uncle killing himself? And she's like, woo! I was like, this is too much. Too much. Oh, someone else asked me a question, but I'm blanking on what it is now, but I think it like tied in to what I was just talking about. Something with comedy and yeah, just annoying people in the audience. And it's I don't know. That's why I'm like scared when I go on the road coming up, like just being in these random ass places. Luckily, like these first few headlining shows I'm doing are in like really like nice places at nice clubs that I've been to before for the most part, so it won't feel too like unknown. But oh yes, that was the question. It won't feel too unknown, so I'll feel more comfortable, but it is scary like being somewhere on your own as a woman and like being at this club where typically at a comedy club it's gonna be a lot of like older people and like dudes and couples, and I don't know. I get a little bit anxious because you just never know what an audience will bring you, and you just have to adapt to it. And you could be doing the same material for each show, but the way you get to the material and like say it can be so different based on the audience. And ideally you just want an audience who's there for a good time and just wants to enjoy, hearing you tell jokes rather than being a whole part of the show for themselves. You know what I mean? But this is what I was saying. Like when I did the corporate gig, it was like kind of a nightmare, but I was like, whatever, I'm just going to go with the flow. Just do it. It was only $40, no big deal, but I was like, I'm just going to have fun to the best of my ability. I eventually had to just like fuck around with the audience because they weren't really paying attention to anything I was saying anyways. So it felt like pointless doing material for people who were just going woo to everything. Like I could have literally said anything and they would have been like, woo! I'd be like, I just killed 12 people. And they're like, yes, woo! And I'm like, okay. So, but I still was able to like find a way to enjoy myself. Even though I didn't like my set because I wasn't really doing material, I was like, whatever, I get to hang out with my friends who are here who I haven't seen in a long time. And, you know, I just get to like show up for the club and be able to help them and, you know, help this company enjoy their holiday party, hopefully. But someone asked me, they said, what do you do if you're broke but hate your job? So I posted a picture on Instagram and people were like kind of annoyed. People were mad because I said, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? People are like, cause I'm broke, cause I need it, cause I don't, you know, like this is such a privileged caption. And I was like, that's not what I mean. Oh my gosh. Yeah, wait, let me see is it over here? Oh yeah, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? People are like, let me see. Oh yeah, someone said rich kid cringe. Someone said I like to sleep indoors on a bed. Someone said, you get the point, you know? Okay. To make money and survive? That's not what I'm saying. I've worked plenty of shitty jobs. Okay? Because I needed money. Because I needed to have a job. Because I needed to be able to stay living in the spot that I live in. But just because I'm working this shitty job that I don't like doesn't mean I can't try and have fun. Just because the actual job sucks doesn't mean my attitude about it has to suck. And that's something that took me a long time to learn. Because I was working all these shitty jobs and I was like, this sucks. I don't want to work at a movie theater. Everyone here sucks. Blah, blah, blah. Like, just so negative about it. And guess what? I hated the job. And I got fired from the job because I was so passionless. And I always was scared that if I was a good employee and I cared about my other employees and I cared about the service and the customers and all of that, that it would make me a worse comedian because I would be focusing on the movie theater. But it's like, all I have to do is focus on the movie theater for the 6 hours that I'm there, and that's it. It doesn't have to be my whole world. But I was just scared that if I put any more than average, even just average, into the job that I hated, that it would take away from myself, from my outside life. And so the last food service job I had was this chicken wings place. And it's like, no one dreams really. I mean, maybe you do. But to me, I'm like, no one like has big dreams of working the cash register at a chicken wings place. You know, that's not the end goal for me. And normally I would go into a job like that and just be like, whatever, I'm here to clock in, I'm here to clock out, I'm here to eat some chicken wings and go home. And I was like, you know what? Every time I've ever had that attitude at a job, I've hated it. I've been miserable with myself, with the people who work there, with the people who go in there. And so I decided that when I take this job, I was like, I'm going to have a good attitude about it. Every day that I go in, I'm going to try and bring my best, energy I can. I'm going to try and like smile when a customer walks in. I'm going to help people out who don't ask for help. I'm going to like be on top of it, and I'm just going to be like the best employee I can be. And it was one of my favorite, I talk so highly about this chicken wings job, like as if I was a doctor. I'm like, oh, my days as a doctor. It's like, to me, it was like such a great job. And I like go in there and I still talk to my manager from that job. And it's crazy because it's like, because I was putting this good, honest, responsible energy out there, my manager was giving it right back to me. He was so nice. he would like cover my shifts if I had an audition or something, or like needed to go out of town last minute for comedy. And he got my back because when I was in town and I was working, I had his back. And I just didn't realize that it could be that easy. I always thought I'm going to show up and I'm going to do the bare minimum. And if they don't have my back, that's fucked up on their part. And I work for them. They should like, whatever. So anyway, that was the point of my post saying, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it? Doesn't matter what you do. You have the option to make it what it is. I'm not saying you have to have a fucking party if you're like a janitor. My parents are both longshoremen. That's not like a thrilling, exciting job. Like, people die at their work all the time. They get smashed by like these big cargo boxes. Like, it's not like a fun job. I'm not saying rave at your job, do Molly, get turned. I'm just saying, like, you know, have a smile on your face. Say hi to the people who you work with. Like, try and engage in your job and make the most of it. Because whether it's long term or short term, it's like you might as well try to have as good of a time as you can while you're doing something instead of just dreading having to go in every day. Which I'm not saying is like every single day is going to be like walking on sunshine. There's plenty of days that I do not look forward to doing a show because I feel terrible. I don't feel funny. I don't like the people on the lineup, maybe. Like, there's so many things that I can be like, fuck, this is going to suck. This is a show at a fucking, like, mechanic shop. Like, why am I doing comedy at a mechanic shop at like 2 p.m. on a Sunday? What is this? But I'm like, okay, I can try and just have a decent time. Sometimes it doesn't work, okay? Sometimes I'm not having fun. Most of the time I am. But sometimes at the chicken wings place, I go in and I'm just having a shitty day. And there's nothing I can do to get out of it. And that happens too. But I'm saying, like, we can all just try to be a little bit more. Try to be on the bright side of things if possible. Like I said last week, I was in a real rut. I was not feeling myself. I was Bummerville Population Alley. And now I'm feeling better, you know? I poked my head out. I've been taking actions to feel better rather than just thinking about how I could feel better. I've been doing things to feel better, trying not to just distract myself, because that's kind of one of my go-tos when I'm feeling bummed out. I just try and distract myself, sensory overload. I'm like, I'll hang out with all my friends all the time, and then I'll never think about my feelings, and I'll have my friends to rely on. But yeah, so I'm feeling better. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm saying all of this, and I'm like, just throw a smile on. Just throw a little smile on. Obviously, sometimes it's not that easy, but that's just what I'm saying, you know? But yeah, I guess that kind of gets back to that one thing where people can just get so, like, I could say what I'm saying right now and people will be like, all capital letters, there are people with severe depression. There's people with no lips who can't smile. You can't say that. You're an asshole. You know, whatever. So, I don't know. I just feel like nothing gets done when people are that negative and yelling at each other. I don't know. It just feels so pointless. When will not Ali Mac's Instagram feed be verified? Hashtag fuck Instagram. Great question. I've tried to submit a request to be verified. They won't let me. I think you're supposed to have like I think if you like Google the person's name who's requesting to be verified, there should be like things that pop up that make you see that that person's like notable or like has been in the news in some way. I don't think I have any like anything public. Like if I were to be on a TV show or like at JFL Comedy Festival or something where it's like, you know, there's some press releases about me, then I would be verified. But because I'm pretty low key on the web, yeah, I guess there's not a real demand for proving who the real Ali Macofsky is when there's only me out there, you know? Someone said, I think I met the love of my life, but she's a few years older and has a baby. I'm 18, by the way. Thanks. You know what? You're 18. You think you met the love of your life. Enjoy your company with this person. Be there for this person. Be a friend. Be a good friend to this person. But also live your life as an 18-year-old. Have fun. Don't become a stepdaddy right now. Don't fill the shoes because you feel bad. Just be there as a friend and let it happen over time if it's meant to happen. Don't try to make it work. Don't force it into happening. Don't be an 18-year-old stepdaddy. Just be there. Just be a rock in a hard place. When is Larry coming back on the pod? You already heard from the man. He wants to come back as soon as possible, but we need a little bit more hype. We can't just keep bringing him on for shits and gigs. Maybe when he loses a bunch of weight. Once he gets to his goal weight, we'll have him back on. What is the biggest apology you've ever given to somebody? I don't remember. Oh, you know what? I apologized to my sisters because before I stopped drinking, this was probably like 4 or 5, at least over 4 years, because I've been sober for over 4 years. So somewhere between like 4 and 5 years, I crashed my car in a blackout on the freeway, and my sisters picked me up at like 4 in the morning, like frightened for my life. Having talked to the sheriffs who were like, hey, you need to pick your sister up. She crashed her car. And so they had to like pick me up far from where they live at 4 in the morning, like worried about me. So I had to I apologized to them probably like a year or two after the fact, and was just like, I'm so sorry that I scared you guys, and I never want to put you in that position again or make you feel, worried about me. And so that was like a really special apology I got to make, and one that I like very sincerely meant. Also, both of my dumbass bitch-ass sisters decided to get married. So now they're both engaged, and I was so excited for them. I was so happy when I found out. I was like, this is so beautiful. My 2 big sisters, they're engaged. They're going to get married. This is the first time I'm going to be in a wedding, and I did not realize how expensive it is to be in a wedding. So after these 2 hoes are done with their little marriage bullshit, I'm not going to any weddings. I'm done. Miss me. I don't care who it is. I'm not going to your wedding. I'm not even going to my own wedding. If I have to pay for it, I'm not going. I'm getting eloped. I'm not doing that. It's rude. It's rude. Okay? It's so fucked up to make people pay that much money just so they can do all your bitch work for you at your wedding. Oh, Brittany needs Aquaphor because her lips are chapped. Go run to the store. How about Brittany cancels the wedding and I save my money? Her lips won't be chapped if she's stuck at home. Ugh. I'm happy for them, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy for them. I'm excited to go to their weddings, but like, Venmo me. I might start selling my underwear. I was genuinely thinking this the other day. I was like, should I move back in with my dad in Long Beach? Should I save money by living with my dad? I'm heavily considering it. I might be moving to Long Beach. Watch out. But it's expensive. Yeah, I'm worried. Ay, ay, ay. But I'm excited. The memories will be worth the thousands of dollars. Fuck. Yeah, it's so expensive. What are some tips for sobriety from alcohol? I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard question because everyone's so different. Tips from sobriety? I don't know. Try new drinks that are non-alcoholic. Try some non-alcoholic beverages. Try not to go out as much, because if you're out when you're trying to stay sober, it's really hard to pass up opportunities to drink in the beginning. Find some hobbies. Lean in. Find other people who don't drink. That makes it easier. Yeah, I guess that's it. How long does your hair color last? Not very long. It washes out super quickly, which is kind of annoying, but also kind of nice, because I want to be able to like change it more often, and I like seeing the process of it fading. But I don't like that it kind of looks a little bit trashy once it fades. Speaking of trashy, I started rewatching 16 and Pregnant. Oh, so good. I'm like, it makes me think that I'm like still 16. I'm like, I should get pregnant and go on MTV. Ugh. I do want to get pregnant. I want to just like, I don't know. I kind of just want to like pop out a kid. If I can't pay for someone else's wedding, then I probably shouldn't be like trying to have a baby. But how cute would it be to bring a baby to the wedding? Maybe I'll think about it. Okay. Someone said, the coronavirus, ... good or bad? I think people are a little bit too scared about it. I think if you're like, I said this on Instagram Live this morning, if you're young, hot, and healthy, you have nothing to worry about. If you have those 3 things, you're going to be fine. You might just have the flu. If you go to the doctor, you know, you'll be taken care of. But I'm pretty sure it's just like old people, old crusty ass people who, if they got sick anyways, would not have a good time, would not be doing well. I'm not a doctor though, so I wouldn't take my advice. You should probably be safe. Wash your hands more than you do now. My podcast producer Anthony said he's been having flu-like symptoms, and he still told me to come over, so I'm not worried at all, even though he probably has the coronavirus. It's so funny that it's called the coronavirus. When I was in college, the coronavirus meant something else. Okay. The coronavirus is when you drink too many Coronas at a Dodgers game and black out and piss your pants. In my head, that was really funny. Wait, this is so funny. This is really funny. So, I've been trying to learn sign language. And oh, well, I guess never mind. I was gonna say, so I've been trying to learn sign language. Sometimes, and by sometimes I mean this one time I went to a deaf meetup at Starbucks. People just hang out and sign to each other. It's mostly just like all deaf people. And then there's me, and I'm like, I want to learn. And so one of my friends that I met at the deaf meetup, he asked me a question on here. But I was like, in my head, I was thinking like, wait, he's not going to listen to this podcast. He's deaf. But then I realized on YouTube there might be closed captions. Is there closed captions on YouTube? Oh, okay. He asked me, why do you want to be a comedian? I think I've talked about this on here before. But, I mean, I love attention. I love making people laugh. And this is the best way to do that. It's really fun. It's like a cool experience to be able to like provide joy to people. When it goes well, it feels great. When it doesn't go well, it feels tough, but it makes the good times even better. This is such a 180 from last week's episode where I'm like, everything sucks. I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm sad. And now I'm like, everything is chill. I do feel a lot better today. It's just crazy. Emotions can change so quickly or so slowly, and you just gotta ride them out, because then on a day like today where it's like high 70s, sun's out, it just feels good. Eliminate one from your diet forever. Pizza, tacos, pasta, french fries. Honestly, I could do without pizza and tacos for the rest of my life. It wouldn't even faze me. I have to keep pasta and french fries for sure. Pizza, I never crave it. I'll eat it every once in a while, but it's Like, I could do so many other things before I think of pizza. Tacos, it's like, just do a burrito. Why eat these two tiny little mini baby burritos that spill everywhere when you could just have one big taco rolled up? It's so stupid. Okay, this is fun because these are two back-to-back questions by the same person. The first question is, what is with the stigma against straight men who enjoy receptive anal sex? Followed by his next question, would you ever consider dating someone who works in a non-artistic field? I feel like he's just talking about himself. Is there a stigma against straight dudes who... I feel like there's a stigma against anything sexual. There's always going to be someone else who thinks that whatever... Someone's going to be like, missionary. There's probably a missionary stigma. A doggy style stigma. If you like receiving some anal, go for it, baby. Don't let no stigma stop you. Find your people. Get weird. Go to Burning Man. I feel like that's where you would meet other people who aren't going to stigmatize your anal desires. And then for your follow-up question, would you ever consider dating someone who works in a non-artistic field? Absolutely. As long as they have like an understanding and I have an understanding of what they do and vice versa. Yeah, sure. Why not? But I also am like not really trying to date anyone right now. I'm done with dating for now. It's so annoying. I don't want to see anyone. What's the worst Valentine's Day gift I can get my girlfriend? Chlamydia. No, I don't know. Chocolates. Don't do chocolates. Don't do flowers. Do something thoughtful. I don't know. Flowers die. You have to take care of them. Chocolates. I'm not a big chocolate person. Plus, you're like, it's hard not to stop. It's hard to stop eating chocolate. So then your girl's going to be self-conscious about her thighs after. You don't want that. How do you know the guys at round 2? Well, when I used to work at that chicken wings place, one of my favorite jobs ever, it was on Melrose, and it was right by round 2, and so those guys would come into the chicken wings place, and we just, hit it off. Cool dudes over there. So then after my shifts, I would go and hang out over there, and they would come in during my shifts and get water and food and stuff. So yeah, we just all became friends and then started hanging out outside of work. Round 2 is a great store. I love round 2. And I love the guys who work there. It's cool because there's so many like annoying like streetwear, fashion brands, whatever, like in LA, especially on like Melrose or Fairfax, where the people who work in those stores are like, we're better than you, don't talk to us, we're gonna make you feel stupid as soon as you walk into our store, and you're gonna buy things that are way too expensive. But then at round 2, everyone's like so cool and like, what's up? How are you? What are you looking for? How can I help you? Like, they're so nice. And I just like being around nice, positive, silly people. And one time when I was in there, Post Malone came in, so you never know what's gonna happen at round 2. Your experience with video games. I never really played that many video games growing up, but when I was really little, my sisters had Sonic, I believe, and my favorite was Crash Bandicoot. That was really fun. I used to play like my Nintendo DS. I would play this dog game where you like raise dogs to become like champion like show. Yeah, they were so cute. What was it called? Just like dogs? Yeah, Nintendo dogs or something. You just like get to pick a dog and like they jump over little hoops and stuff. That was really fun. I was also a Wii head. Played the Wii a lot. As a Wii head. Okay. Okay, those were all the questions. Damn, that was like almost the whole freaking pod. 45. Oh, okay. So I want to tell you guys about, so last week I talked about the cruise and stuff, but I kind of was like going in and out of like topics and just like It was a very incoherent pod last week, and I apologize for that. Sometimes, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I wake up on a Tuesday and I'm hot and I'm ready and I'm fired up. And sometimes I wake up and I'm sad and I'm like, does anyone even listen to this podcast? What do I even talk about? My last week was boring, like whatever. There's a lot of factors that go into play. And I'm no Crystalia over here, okay? I'm not always on. I don't know how to turn it on when I need to sometimes. And that's why he is great at what he does and why I am fine, okay? I'm not going to negative self-talk, but I'll just say that I'm no Chris Delia. So, I forgot to mention, did I forget? Will you tell me? I don't know if you even know, maybe. I went to a clothing optional bar in Florida, and I don't remember if I talked about it on last week's episode. I went to a clothing optional bar in Florida in Key West. Okay. I have to talk about that because it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Let me just see if I did anything crazy this past week. Oh, I did the rec room in Huntington Beach, which was really fun. And I spent the whole day in Orange County and Long Beach, and I went because I had a 10 p.m. show at the rec room, and I had nothing to do that day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive down to Long Beach. It'll get me kind of like out of my element, and I'll be able to like focus. So I went to this coffee shop that I went to a long time ago when I was little. And I was with my friend and her mom took us there, and they were having like an open mic night at this coffee shop, and we went there, and it was a lot of like poetry and snaps and like good vibes. And I remember it was just like such a cool hippy dippy coffee shop. So I went there, but I also stopped at like, I drove by the old townhomes I lived in, and I drove by the old church that I went to when I was going through a Christian phase. I drove by, where else did I drive by? I just went to a bunch of different spots that like, reminded me of my past. And it was very nostalgic, kind of sweet. I was so tempted to knock on the door of the house that I used to live in to be like, can I take a look around? But it looks so different. It's weird how like when you're a kid, things seem so much more like magical and big and like exciting. And then I went back, and I don't know if it's just like over time it starts to like look more run down, but like the place that I lived, I was like, this is what it looked like? Like, I used to be like, damn, we live in a mansion. Because it was 2 stories. And I was like, whoa. But then I went back and I was like, this is a little ghetto. 2 stories does not mean wealth. It might just be utilizing space by moving upwards. Anyway, it was just weird seeing things that I used to think. Anyway, so I did that. Which was fun, but it made me miss Long Beach in a way. I was like, should I move back to Long Beach? I wonder if my dad would make me pay rent if I lived with him. He probably would. Shady bitch. But then also it's like, is it worth the commute every day to go to LA just to save money on rent? I would be spending so much on gas, and I wouldn't be... Like, I would have to get a job down there and then commute. Like, yeah, I don't think it would work. But it seems... the idea of it sounds, like, really beautiful. But I couldn't go to my favorite coffee shop. But I like that other coffee shop down there. It's different vibes. More casual, laid back. I like... Long Beach is so cool. If you've never been to Long Beach and you're in, like, the Southern California area... You have to go to Long Beach and go to where 2nd Street is, and then just like around that general area. 'Cause it's just beautiful. The houses are so cute. The shops are so cute. It's just fresh. What else happened? Okay. Not much. I have a fun idea for something I want to do in October, but I don't want to say what it is yet because... it might not happen, and I just want to be, but something in October might be happening that could be potentially very cool and different and fun. Anyway, so just stay tuned for October. Also, I'm not finished yet, but just while we're in the middle of the pod, I want to tell you that just once again, go to alimacofsky.com/shows because I have so many exciting shows coming up and I would love your support. If you're in the area, it would be nice to meet you if you're out there. I'm going to be in, okay, where am I going to be? I'm going to be in Santa Barbara, actually, February 4th. I'm going to be featuring for Tony Hinchcliffe in Arizona at the Tempe Improv, the 6th through 8th. And then I'm actually headlining some shows at the Tempe Improv the following month, March 5th and 6th. I'm also going to be in Boston, February 28th and 29th. Connecticut on the 1st of March, and then New York on the 2nd and 3rd of March, and then Skankfest Houston at the end of March, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, which will be really fun, and then April 1st at Helium in Portland, and then the 2nd through 4th at the Punchline in San Francisco. Those are like headlining shows. Oh my God, what if I just eat dicks for 45 minutes to an hour? It's possible. It's very possible. I don't think that'll happen. I think there might be a couple moments that are just a little quieter than others, but it's a learning experience. I'm only going to keep growing, so, this is my first time. And it would be nice for you to be there. Because you never show up to anything else. So just fucking come. Anyway. So now that that's out of the way, I forgot to mention, so I went on this fucking 5-day rave cruise, non-stop party. It's so hard to put into words how much fun it was. And I don't know, here's the thing though, I don't know if I would have had as much fun if I was just attending and didn't have some of the VIP artist perks. But at the same time, it wasn't like there were so many artist perks that like made the trip, we the only thing that was different was that we just had like a lounge area for the artists where we can just like get a couple snacks, get some beverages, relax in like a quiet, chill environment. And it wasn't like it was like crazy up there. Like every time I went up, it was pretty quiet. Like it was just me and maybe like a few other people hanging out up there. So I'm like, did I just enjoy it because I'm like, an entitled piece of shit? I think it just generally was like very fun. Also, I didn't pay to go. I got to perform and make some money doing it, but I think like next year, I mean, I'm not going to have the money to afford to go next year if I had to pay for myself because my dumb bitch sisters are getting married, which I'm so happy for them, but what was I going to say? I hope they bring me back. I hope they bring me back. It was just so much fun. I feel like a regular cruise is different because you're just kind of like stuck on ship for 5 to 7 days and you're just there and you just get bored after a while. But a rave cruise, it's like non-stop fun, party, people, places, things, molly, drugs, party. And everyone's like, oh, I was looking at your eyes in your Instagram picture to see how dilated your pupils were. And it's like, bitch, I was sober the whole time. It was so fun. Okay, but here's the crazy part. So then I get off the cruise ship. I'm in Miami. My friend Shaw picks me up. Shaw Smith, Florida comic. He booked us all these shows in different cities each night. So he picks me up in Miami. We drive to Key West, which is like just its own little place. It's kind of like Catalina meets New Orleans. It's very gay. It's very like fun and outdoor. Like everyone's just hanging outside and it's just a blast. It's like a cruise on land, And we were out that night after the shows and my friend Erica messaged me and she was like, speaking of, Erica's also getting married. I believe I'm invited to that. So that's going to be, I think, in fucking Montana. So I'm going broke. The 2020 is the year I go bankrupt, with $5,000 in my bank account going bankrupt. That's all I have. I don't have that much money, and it's all going away now. So anyway, Erica was like, you have to go to this bar called Garden of Eden. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, guys, we have to go to this bar. My friend told me to go. It's called Garden of Eden. And they're like, oh my God, that's the naked bar. And I'm like, okay, now we definitely have to go. So we get there. There's a sign on the wall that says, no photography, no videos, no phone use, no sex, no hooking up, no glass, like, you know, no glass bottles or anything, or cups. And so I get up there. Most people are clothed, but a lot of people are topless. There's a couple dudes who are completely naked. Some women who are mostly naked. But then there was this group of people. 3 people. One dude sitting on a bench completely naked. A girl sitting next to him fully clothed. A girl standing up in front of them with just no pants on but a shirt on, which is always weird. Because I feel like the safe bet is the shirt off. But she had shirt on, completely naked below. And she was like trying to like hook up with the girl sitting on the bench who's fully clothed. She keeps like pulling her pants down. And just keep in mind, these are not hot people. These are not 2 people that you dream of hooking up. You know, these are 2 people that you're like, please don't, please don't, please don't. But you can't stop looking because they're in public at a clothing optional bar where they're not supposed to be hooking up. So the pants down Pooh Bear girl pulls this girl's pants down. Don't get too hard, okay? I'm trying not to say this seductively. She's munching her little box, okay? And the guy's just sitting there. And so the girl who's getting her box munched in full clothing is like giving this dude next to her the saddest little like hand job. And the dude's not even hard. I'm hard, okay? I don't even have a dick and I'm rock hard from these ugly girls doing nasty things on a public rooftop bar. This dude's not hard at all. Couldn't be bothered. He's just getting this sad little hand job from the girl sitting down. And so things keep going. They like keep hooking up, whatever. Finally, so gross. Pants off girl and fully clothed girl are both standing up now. And pants off girl turns the girl around, pulls down her pants. Oh, it's so gross. It's so crazy. Oh my God. She literally takes both of her hands, pulls the other girl's cheeks apart, ass cheeks apart, and then eats her ass in public. Oh my God. I wish I could have recorded it, but I was like, I can't. Oh my God, they did not hold back. It was the most bizarre. I've never witnessed anything like this in my life. And then we just like, you know, we just did our thing. I was with Shaw, my friend Danny, who I took on the cruise with me, Shaw's friend. So it was like me and 4 or 5 dudes. And I'm like, we all have to take our shirts off. So we all take our shirts off. I'm wearing a little bra, you know. And by the time that we were about to leave, because the ass-eating girls had left, I was like, I feel like I'm cheating. I was like, I don't feel like I'm like really like doing it full out. And so I went up to this group of like 3 older women. They were probably like 50 or something. And they all had their tits out. And I was like, I walked up to them. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by you guys. Like, you know, I'm too nervous to take my bra off. And so this old woman turns me around and tries to take my bra. She's like, I got you, girl. She was like, feel free, be brave, you know, whatever. So she's like, she's just struggling for like 3 minutes. She like can't figure out how to take my top off. And I'm just standing there like, this isn't worth it. And finally she snapped it off. And my friend had his crazy friend with him who he like happened to run into from like high school. And this guy's like seriously like crazy. And I'm like holding my boobs because I'm uncomfortable. And the crazy friend, Shaw's crazy friend, is like, you just gotta take them out. You just gotta take them out, you know? You have to. You just got to. Like, this is the place to do it. Just be free, take them out. And I was like, you need to turn around. I'm not taking these bad boys out around you. Eventually, I took them out. And it was fun. It was real fun. So, if you're in Florida, go to Key West. Go to Garden of Eden. It was truly so crazy. And the hotels there are weird because they're like in people's like former homes. I think it's like very old school, and like it looks like a dollhouse that's converted into like a hotel. It's so cute there. I'm obsessed with Florida. Like, it truly. Anyway, that's the podcast. I'm done. I'm out of here. I have a fun week coming up. I'm excited to see you next week. I hope you guys are feeling good, taking care of yourselves, and yeah, thanks for coming back for another episode. Bye.